Okay, let's go further. Now, let's see ये ओशन करंट्स का प्रॉब्लम्स क्या क्या निर्माण हो जाता है वो हम बिकॉज ऑफ द कोल्ड करंट्स आइसबर्ग्स आर कैरिड अवे फ्रॉम द पोलर एरियाज इफ सच आइसबर्ग्स कम अलोंग द मरीन रूट्स दे आर एजेडस शिप्स ओके फिर उसके बाद डीप ओशन करंट्स का हम देखेंगे वाटर करंट्स बियॉन्ड द डेप्थ ऑफ 500 meters are known as deep water ocean currents. These currents are formed due to differences in temperature and density of the water in different parts of the ocean. This is known as thermo-aligned circulation. These currents flow till the seabed of the ocean. They flow like rivers continuously below the surface of the sea. Now, deep ocean currents के बारे में क्या बताया जा रहा है? Water currents they go beyond the depth of 500 meters. अभी वो हमने देखा था कि ओशन करंट्स का मूवमेंट कैसा होता है 500 मीटर डीप में जाते हो दीज करंट्स आर फॉर्म ड्यू टू द डिफरेंसेस इन टेम्परेचर and density of the water in different parts of the ocean. This is known as thermo-aligned circulation. These currents flow till the seabed of the ocean. They flow like rivers continuously below the surface of the sea. The difference in temperature of various parts of the ocean is the major reason behind the deep sea currents. Warm water has lower salinity and density. Such water comes to the surface of the earth, sea. Cold water with high density goes down. This movement causes the deep sea water currents. See figure 5.6. Generally, the surface near water, Greenland and Europe moves to more depths. This water moves to the Antarctica at these depths. Later, the water moves to the surface, thus the redistribution of the ocean current. तो क्या है कि क्या बताया जा रहा है कि these currents they can flow till the seabed यानी ओशन के एकदम भीतर तक जा सकते हैं एंड दे फ्लो लाइक रिवर्स इसलिए ये ओशन में बहाव नहीं होने पर भी एक बहाव की जैसे हमको नजर आता है इसलिए वो टॉइस एक जगह से दूसरे जगह पर जाते हुए दिख रहा है और वो किसके कारण से था पानी के बहाव से नहीं इट इज नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ द वाटर करंट्स इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द ओशन करंट्स okay the difference in temperature of various parts of the ocean is the major reason behind the deep sea currents का reason है temperature warm water को lower salinity और density होता है okay such water comes to the surface of the sea cold water with high density goes down this movement causes the deep sea water currents ये movements deep sea water currents का ये करता है see figure 5.6 generally the surface water near Greenland and Europe moves to more depths this water moves to the Antarctica at these depths later the water moves to the surface thus the redistribution of the ocean water keeps occurring this redistribution takes around 500 years to complete 500 साल हो जाता है रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूशन अभी पता चला ना ये वार्म वाटर जिसको लो सैलिनिटी और डेंसिटी है ये सरफेस ऑफ द सी तक आता है कोल्ड वाटर जिसका हाई डेंसिटी होता है वो नीचे जाता है दिस मूवमेंट कॉसेस द डीप सी वाटर करंट्स सी फिगर 5.6 ओके ये यहाँ पे बताया और ये डीप सी वाटर करंट्स के कारण से व्हाट हैपेंस इज वाटर की रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होने का चांसेस भी होता है वाटर की रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होते रहते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ दिस वाटर सी डीप सी करंट्स के कारण से ओके एंड इट हैपेंस 500 इयर्स 500 साल तक ये होते रहते हैं नाउ इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ डीप ओशन करंट्स ड्यू टू थर्मो अलाइंड सर्कुलेशन मूवमेंट ऑफ सी वाटर occurs on a large scale because of this circulation ocean water moves from the surface to the bottom and from the bottom to the surface warm water is transferred to the bottom from the surface and the nutrient rich cold water is circulated to the surface. Warm water नीचे जाते हैं, जैसे इधर बताया in the figure only they have shown. ओके, तो वार्म वाटर बॉटम में जाता है और कोल्ड वाटर ऊपर आ जाते हैं. तो कोल्ड वाटर में न्यूट्रिएंट्स बहुत होते हैं, तो इसलिए फिशेस क्या करेंगे, कोल्ड वाटर ऊपर आने के कारण से fishes come at the top. Now you know there's also scientific reason behind this. The scientific reason behind this is कोल्ड वाटर ऊपर आते वार्म वाटर नीचे जाता है. उसका रीज़न ये भी है, वी कैन से इट इज़ ड्यू टू द एनॉमलस बिहेवियर ऑफ वाटर. ये शायद से तुम लोग 7th स्टैंडर्ड में लर्न किया, एनॉमलस बिहेवियर ऑफ वाटर साइंस में. आई होप थोड़ा उसको याद करके देखो, 10th में भी है तुम लोग को वापस पढ़ने के लिए. These circular pattern of the movements of the ocean currents give rise to certain peculiar features in the ocean. They are called gyres. The Sargasso Sea in the Atlantic Ocean is such an example. It is marked by the circular patterns of ocean currents. It does not have land boundaries and is only surrounded by ocean currents. It gets its name from the sargassum seaweed. The water is still here. The sea is 1100 kilometer wide and 3200 kilometer long. तो उसको कोई लैंड बाउंड्रीज नहीं होता है, एंड इट इज सराउंडेड बाय ओशन करंट्स एंड इट गेट्स इट्स नेम फ्रॉम द सरगासम सीवीड. Okay, the water is still here and the sea is 1100 kilometer wide and 3200 kilometer long. Understood? Now let us see some points that we learned from this lesson. First, the ocean currents do not flow very close to the coast. They flow near the lower limit of the continental shelf. Second, even though the velocity of the ocean currents is less, the water carried by them is immense. Third, under the influence of the westerlies in the mid-latitudes, the ocean currents flow from west to east, but near the equator they flow from east to west. This leads to a circular pattern. Understood? You can see in figure 6.4. Is this clear to you? So I hope you understood this lesson very nicely. ये बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आया रहेगा. ये लेसन ओशन करंट्स के ऊपर है. ओके, सो कुछ डाउट्स है गौरव? माइक्रोफोन बंद रहेगा. Okay, you had doubt. In question number 4 of your practice set 7.3. Okay, fourth of practice set 7.3. In this, the question given to us is a car with speed 60 kilometer. It takes 8 hours. So it takes time. Okay, speed is given as 60 kilometer per hour. Understood? And if the speed is 60 kilometer per hour, the time it takes is 8 hours. Understood? And what should be the increase in speed if the same distance? Increase in speed, what is the increase in speed? So let the increase in speed be x. If the same distance is to be covered, in 7.5 hours. This is your question, yes or no? Now, you all know speed. The formula of speed is distance upon time. So distance is equal to speed into time. That means speed is inversely proportional to time, or it is an inverse variation with time. So that is what we see here. Understood? And the distance is same, so the distance is constant. Now if we go further, we'll understand that here it's given 60 into 8. So if distance is constant for both the speed and the time, the distance is the same. So that means we can say the first speed into first time is equal to second speed into second time. Now this is a mixed number, so I'll just extend the screen. Now mixed number होने के कारण से we can solve like this. X is equal to $60 into 8 upon 7.5. Now 7.5 is equal to 2 sevens are 14, 14 plus 1 15, 15 by 2. So X is equal to 60 multiplied by 8 upon 15 upon 2. This 2 will go at the top. So when 2 will go at the top, it goes here in the numerator. 1 second. So this becomes 60 into 8 into 2 upon 50. See, 15 15 fours up. So we get 4 8 4 2s are 8 8s are 64. So the speed is 6 km per. I hope understood. Very check the answer. It should be 64. There's some printing mistake is that 64. It cannot be 4 kilometer per hour. How can the speed be less? When it takes for 8 hours it takes 60 kilometer per hour. How can be 7.5? So here some mistake is there. I'm just writing the answer here. It's 64 kilometer per. I hope you understood.